In this demonstration, we're going to have a look at how Microsoft 365 Dynamics Business Central can help you as the finance director or accountant of your organization get down to the detailed accounting work that you need to do for the business. To do this, we're going to have a look at how you can get quick access to financial information immediately on logging into the system, how you can easily set up new ledger accounts and correct and reanalyze transactions, as well as looking into the detail behind those transactions to gain more insights into the wider business. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central has been built with roles in mind. So when you as the accountant or finance director log into the system, you're seeing the information that's pertinent to you, things that you will want to action, and insights you're going to want to look into. The homepage or role center presents you with cues and filters, hyperlinked information that you can drill down and look at in more detail, be it around whether purchase documents are past their due date, whether you've got unprocessed payment runs, or if you just simply want to look at the number of overdue transactions. Each of these cues and hyperlinks acts as a filter of data in the background, and we'll see that in action as we drill into some of that detail later on. As well as those cue-based insights, the system will present you with dashboards that are relevant to your role. These could be around financial performance, or in this case, in the case of aged debtors, information maybe that I want to have a look at. It's maybe a little concerning to me as a business director that we've got receivables that are overdue for more than 9 weeks. I can simply select that element of the chart and drill down to the specific transactions that are perhaps causing a problem in credit control. I'm quickly able to access the customer details and analytics around them, but I can also interact with other Microsoft 365 products, such as Teams. I can select the list of transactions and share that with the finance department to ask them to go and communicate with people in logistics, trying to find out what the answers are and get in front of the problem to try and resolve that for our customer, meaning we will receive our money faster and the customer will receive a better level of service. Once I've shared that hyperlink and asked for that communication to happen, I can just then continue on with my day. Returning to the home page, we can have a look at our cash flow forecast. I can hover over April and I can see some key indicators of monies coming in and going out of the business. But also inbuilt into this is the power of Cortana and AI of the Microsoft Azure platform. It's not only looking at data that the system knows about and manual cash flow entries that I've created about transactions that haven't yet happened. It's also looking at trends in that data, things that usually happen and things that could happen to give me a much truer cash flow picture. As well as these hyperlinks, we've also got access to general functions throughout the system, so such as being able to access our chart of accounts. And much like we can in desktop applications, even in Microsoft Dynamics 365 via a browser, we can use Windows shortkey functions such as Control and A to select an entire list, Control and C to copy that list. I can then open Excel and paste that data into a new spreadsheet. I can then evaluate that, assess it, do what I need to do with it. In the finance department in particular, reporting is key. There are certain reports that we're always going to want to run, such as our trial balance. Business Central allows me to adapt my menu, so I can use the Tell Me function to find a report, and I can then use the bookmark function to add that to my menu, so that I don't have to go hunting around for it next time. Once pinned, it's there every time I log into the system until I remove that bookmark. When reports are run, we can enter criteria, and those criteria will be saved as the last run of that report so that I don't have to enter that again when I come back to rerun it. I equally can download or print those reports or distribute them via email. Business Central will even allow me to schedule those reports under the Advanced tab to run later on. As we saw before, it's possible to copy and paste data into Excel, but Microsoft Dynamics Business Central has inbuilt Excel reporting. These are refreshable reports which can be pulled out to Excel and then filtered and manipulated and refreshed live once created. The data connector uses our Microsoft 365 account details to validate that I'm able to access the information I'm looking at and I'm able to access the application from which it's coming. This is how Microsoft licensing works, and that's one of the key benefits of Business Central. Single login to all of our standard Office applications allows us to seamlessly work and collaborate between these tools. Even once the system's implemented, we do need to change how we analyse things. We perhaps need to reevaluate our chart of accounts, or we need to correct transactions. We'll have a look now at how we can create new general ledger accounts and the various ways that we can actually post journals to move transactions around the general ledger. Our overhead costs relating to travel expenses were quite small, so we were just counting them within our miscellaneous expenses pot. But now that our sales team are growing, we need to analyse this more. So what I need to do is create a new travel expense general ledger card. I need to tell this record whether it's an income or balance sheet account and what category it sits within. I can then break that down further and I can define my own subcategories to allow me to analyse the transactions. I need to say whether that account receives debits or credits and whether it's a posting account that I can post directly to or will be omitted from default journals or needs to be reconciled, for example. Once created, that's instantly updated into our chart of accounts, and I can then start posting journals to it. There are a number of different types of journal that can be posted within Business Central. I'm just going to use the general journal and the general journal batch to do these examples, but there are others available. At its simplest and easiest, I can enter a new journal, give it a document number and find the account I want to post to, enter my debit and credit values, and any dimensional analysis. Dimensions allow me to analyse transactions further. In this case, I only need to tag a department, but I could be tagging a customer group, a type of product, a revenue stream. However I slice and analyse my data, dimensions are really powerful to allow me to fully analyse information, either on records or on transactions within Business Central. I can enter them through the menu, through the line details, or if I've personalised the form and added the department code to my line detail, I can enter it straight as I'm posting the journal. Once I've entered everything and it balances to 0, I can post that journal. The other way that I can enter journal details we'll have a look at in a second, but let's just quickly look at the trial balance and see what that's affected. That report we saw earlier is actually within this menu automatically, so I don't need to add it to my bookmarks, but I can run the report and just show you that that transaction has posted. We saw before that we could paste data into Excel and that we could also output and refresh information into Excel. The other thing we're able to do throughout Business Central, either on static records or on transaction entry, is actually enter data directly in and post it back using that same connector. It authenticates my account as we saw before, and then I can get on and enter the information into a table in Excel. It behaves like any other table, so I can add rows, I can hide columns, and the system will validate and check the information that I am entering is correct before it posts it and before it allows me to effectively publish that data back in. So here's the journal I want to post. We've bought a packing machine and it's had a payment come out of our checking account. I can publish that journal and it will populate the journal batch for me, which I can then post and update my GL. An area where most finance directors or finance managers spend their time is actually analysing accounts, looking into the granular detail behind the totals and transactions. We saw earlier on our homepage that we could actually have bookmarked accounts. So these could be accounts that we want to keep an eye on, things that we regularly have to look at and analyse. I can add to that list by simply, in this case, adding my accounts payable. And this then acts as a new filter, a drill into that information. I can drill down into my accounts payable, and using the filter function available in any list view in Business Central, create a new filter to have a look at what I want to. So in this case, I just want to have a look at credit memos and payments that have been made on this account. I'm looking for a particular entry. I could equally search by value, sort my columns, or apply even more filters. The filters that can be set up don't just have to be relevant to the columns that are listed there, it could be any field. And equally, once I've created those filters, they could be saved so that I can refer back to them in future if I need to. Although Business Central is software as a service, which means you share the functionality generally of the application between everybody who uses it, it is possible to personalize the application yourself. So you could tailor your homepage. You can equally tailor lists and transaction processing screens by editing the columns and information that are presented. This could be an admin function, or senior members of staff could have access to do this, but we can simply drag and drop fields onto the list to provide us with more information and more insights. Equally, we can hide information that we don't want to see, just at a click of a button. In our general ledger account balance view, we can easily change and manipulate what we're seeing. So we can see the year-on-year picture, we can have a look at as-at reporting, we can have a look at things based on the end of financial periods, things that we maybe have to run 2 or 3 reports to achieve with other systems. So as you can see, as the finance director or accountant, Dynamics 365 Business Central can reduce the amount of time you spend clicking around the system and running reports. It can improve control and accuracy of business data, limit errors, and ensure data can be corrected quickly and easily.